Do you have the mindset for success? Or are you feeling frustrated in life or your career? Or stressed you can't find love or happiness? Hi, I'm Coach Riana Milne, and I can help you turn your pain into your purpose and passion by using my Mindset for Success system. Learn the Motivational Mindset for Success coaching system that has helped thousands of my clients over 40 years, and it can help you too. It's time to create the life you desire and to have the love you deserve.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Lessons in Life and Love with Coach Riana Milne. I have a very special class I'm going into tonight, Finding and Having Love for Your Holiday Season. In research, men want relationships most between Halloween and Valentine's Day. Of course, women do too. But, you always wonder, are men really looking for relationships? Yes, these 5 months are crucial. Starting with Halloween, people are like, really? Why? Well, because it's a feisty holiday. It's time to get dressed, look sexy, have fun, have a lot of laughter. And it's a great bonding weekend or night. So I really want to encourage you all, get out there for Halloween. Even if you have a partner, especially, and when you're single, make sure you get to a singles event and go for it. Have fun, dress up. It's a great night to meet people. I'm doing this seminar to encourage you to learn some new skills, to get out there and find love. And if you're in a coupled relationship, to improve the love that you have, get deeper with your relationship, and more real, more honest, and really quite authentic. Okay, so that you can be sustainable and last a lifetime. As I said earlier to the people I was chatting with in the room, the singles information is great for couples, and the couples information is great for our singles because it is all meshed together. And the underlying problems for both singles and problematic coupled relationships are the same. So I'm going to go into the deeper psychology of why you might be struggling, super important. And then 5 tips for singles and 5 tips for couples. Take notes, relax, enjoy yourself. I'm going to put on a PowerPoint and I will then be talking you through this, okay? Finding and having the love you deserve for the holidays. 5 tips for singles to find love now and 5 tips for couples to improve their love relationship. I'm your host and coach, Riana Milne, and I welcome you, and I'm so glad that you're here. This is for singles who feel frustrated with dating, so you might have stopped dating completely, especially with COVID going on. You're tired of being hurt by the partners that you're meeting. You're dating a lot, but not finding that special one, which can be very frustrating. Or you're with a partner now, but you know they're not the right one. You're still single and you're really hoping for something more rewarding, more quality, more emotionally healthy. And if you're single and tired of picking all the wrong people to date, repeatedly getting hurt by narcissistic partners or those you love, you might be young and want marriage and a family, or in the older generation, want that retirement partner. And you want to know the exact skills to attract an emotionally healthy, evolved partner. You want to go from dating to mating. It's important for you to have that special relationship. And for my couples with us tonight, if you're tired of yelling and fighting, or you wonder where your love went, or for some reason you don't feel safe emotionally or physically, respected or cherished, or sex might have become stressful, a chore, or barely there at all, or you're questioning whether to go or stay, it's really important tonight. You're going to learn a lot because you want to go from toxic to terrific. That's the whole point of this evening. You want to survive the holiday season. You're wondering, can we get through it? For a lot of couples, they want to stay married, but they can't go on how they're feeling. They might have lost the fun, the romance, or the love connection. You might be feeling like I'm hanging in there and just staying for the kids. And a lot of time you secretly wonder, is this all there is? And if there really is, it's time to love in a different way. And this is when I say you need a relationship rescue. But wherever you are emotionally, I don't want you to worry. If you're struggling up to now, know that this is not your fault, because no one taught us how to date properly, successfully, and navigate the relationships that we want for the long term. Successful results for love relationships come from my research are more complex than most people even realize. Chemistry is not the answer to falling in love. This was a huge revelation to me. Yes, there has to be an attraction factor. Let's face it, you want to make love to your partner. But if you base everything on chemistry alone, you're going to get into trouble. There is a more emotionally intelligent and successful way to date that gives you a psychological edge for lasting love relationships. And you're going to learn about that tonight. So you attract and have the emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious love relationship that you want. Now, some people say, well, what's evolved? Evolved means being your highest and your best self, meaning you love who you are, you're confident, you know you're doing the right things when nobody's looking, which is called integrity. And when you have integrity and you know you're doing the right things, you have self-love. And you wouldn't even think of going out and doing something to hurt your partner. Those that have come from childhood trauma that is unhealed, very often there is something missing or lacking with that integrity piece. Emotionally healthy means you have great mood management. You're not controlling, you're not demanding, you're not jealous. And conscious love means you are thinking before you do, say, or act about anything. You always say, is this good for me and those I love? And most people don't take that into consideration. They act on impulse. And that's when trouble really starts happening in relationships. Again, my teachings are all from research, and it's the combination of learning about childhood and love trauma, because there is a real and serious connection between the two experiences. You need to heal from past childhood trauma to make your relationship successful. There's a lot of dating and relationship coaches out there and advice and counselors, but no one that really gets to the deeper psychological issues and to the root of the unconscious behavioral problems. And until you address this, everything else is just a Band-Aid. My philosophy is you can learn a ton of dating skills. You can read them in a book, you can learn them on a summit, a podcast, but until you heal the roots of childhood, you cannot move on to have consciously aware love. Most singles and couples don't even realize what they're doing and why they're doing it, or that they're doing it wrong. When my clients understood this made a huge difference and really healed their relationship and made them fantastic. What I teach is what's called the mindset for success in life, love, business, because when you get this mindset, it changes everything in your life in all areas. Tonight, again, there's 6 gifts worth thousands of dollars. At the end of class, we're going to have Q&A, free coaching on any of your concerns, free educational gift, one for singles, one for couples, 6 incredible offers for both of you, and the 2 new bonus reports with a trivia question at the end. It's not going to be a trick question. If you listen, you'll get it. Singles, the worksheet is, he's hot, she's hot, now what? So how to use the rules of 3 for conscious dating. And for couples, the worksheet tonight is signs of the emotionally healthy, conscious, and evolved relationship, a checklist for great partnership. I just wrote this. It's an amazing checklist. Many of you have been on my website, rianamilne.com, and you've done the red flags checklist or childhood trauma checklist, and there's other ones on there. Are you ready for dating? But this is a brand new one that's coming out tonight. You're also going to have offers that you can take advantage of, where you will save thousands of dollars if you're interested in coaching, and that's for both singles and couples. Just a little bit about me so you know who I am. Again, my name's Riana Milne. I am a global life, love, trauma, recovery, and mindset coach. I'm a certified clinical trauma professional, and you can't get CCTP unless you have a master's in psychology. So this is a specialized credential for when I'm working with people of trauma. I've been a licensed mental health counselor going on 22 years now, an addictions counselor, host of my podcast, Lessons in Life and Love, where this will be show 110, dating coach on the 12 show series, Radical Dating, Finding Lasting Love Over 40. And my client, Scott, is very happily married. #1 best-selling author. My sister books are Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams. This is used for all my coaching clients. It was written for them. And I'm a motivational and educational speaker. I appear on over 600 podcasts, many summits, and that's how many of you have met me. I also was in Forbes magazine in August, 6 Tips to Success for a Female Entrepreneur. And I have another magazine feature coming up in November. I'm excited I was asked to be a part of that series as well. My books have been in Barnes and Noble stores, and I used to go and teach about how to self-publish and get in Barnes and Noble stores. And I chose to self-publish because my books go to a couple charities. I have appeared on all major networks. This year is very honored to be selected as one of the top 100 successful women in business around the world. I was like shocked, not only honored, but that was really cool. And they put me in their book, which has recently come out on Amazon. And that went to an international bestseller. You can see Love Beyond Your Dreams went to #1 in many areas on Amazon. I love what I do. I'm very honored to work with people who have had past trauma and want better life, happiness, and relationships. Let's get into part 1, tips for singles, why you may be struggling to find emotionally healthy love. First, I want to tell you about some of the issues that are going on because I've been doing this work 22 years. Okay, and then I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you succeed better in love. Sound good? First thing, we have to solve the issues, and I want you to get the edge and be ready to have the love that you want this holiday season. I don't want you to be alone. And the key thing is stop doing what you've always been doing, right? It's that definition of insanity. Dating over and over again, I keep getting ghosted, or I keep getting people that I see for 1 or 2 dates and then they drop me. What's going on? We want you to have a better psychological understanding of how to date successfully. So tip 1, decide to have the love that you deserve and have the skills and confidence to attract it. You have to be personally and psychologically ready to start creating the life you really desire and be willing to learn what to do exactly when it comes to dating and love. When I meet most of my clients are out of a long-term marriage. It could have been abusive. It could have been lonely. They haven't dated for many years, or they keep getting into relationships that have been toxic and hurtful. We have to decide that we're going to change things. We're going to get the education to change that. And that's where I was in 2011. It's like, I want to change this. I don't want this pattern anymore. The first thing is decide to do things differently. Because when you change your mindset, everything in life changes for you, because you're going to learn to eliminate for good the negative, unconscious, fear-based thoughts about yourself. That's so prevalent. I mean, the research says 8 out of 10 people have 8 out of 10 negative thoughts, right? About your past relationships by healing any childhood and love trauma. You're going to learn to change your destructive, repetitive, unhealthy behavioral patterns that are sabotaging your life and love relationship. Go for it and make the wish and the goals and go to live on to have your abundant life. Tip 2, stop putting the priority on chemistry when choosing a partner. And I got to tell you, every time I see an online profile from a guy, mostly must have chemistry. And, basically men in the room, that's telling a woman, you're next, line up, I'm looking for a sex partner. And it's really off-putting and insulting for women. Tell us who you are. What's your work? Do you have kids? What are your hobbies? What are some things you believe in? What do you read? Like, we want to know the person. Everyone wants attraction, obviously. So tell us who you are instead. The problem with chemistry is it often leads us to toxic partners with similar characteristics of our difficult parents, because the brain likes consistency, even if it's emotionally unhealthy for us. This is why most people repeat toxic relationship patterns and attract similar partners. We call that RRS, or relationship repetition syndrome. Since the brain requires consistency to survive, we call that homeostasis. Unconsciously, it believes your feelings and your beliefs about someone to be correct, even when they're not, because your unconscious craves the dynamic from the past. It likes what is normal. Okay, so most humans dissociate from life to survive and try to escape the deeper unconscious messages about themselves. And this is just a tip of the iceberg. You really want to get your head out of the sand and really know if that person in front of you is someone that matches early on. And this is where the psychology and the art of dating successfully comes in, because there's many questions and answers you need to know if this person in front of you is a great match before getting intimate with them, or is it someone you're just going to keep as a friend? And if that's the case, that's okay too. But once you're intimate, the dopamine and the phenylalanine in your brain goes on overload. So it's connecting you emotionally and primitively to someone who may be a horrible match for you over time. And the red flags of relationships start showing up in 4 to 10 months into the relationship, but often they're ignored due to the craving and desire for love and connection. Tip 3, singles, just say hello. It's one of the fastest ways to find love. You can find people like crazy by just saying hello. This has worked for me for years. Now I'm a world traveler. I can't tell you how much fun that I have had because I just say hello. As simple as that sounds, here's the problem. Many singles have lost their confidence after being in a long-term toxic relationship, or they might have low self-esteem about how they look, so they're not really feeling great when they're out. Or they might be feeling afraid that they're going to get hurt again, so they just stay to themselves. Or they're not sure to who approach. You're afraid, oh, I don't know, he's handsome, but what if I say hello and he rejects me? Or they don't know what to say after saying hello. What kind of conversation do I have? You really need to know the new rules of the art and psychology of dating, the new styles of communication, and how to flirt with confidence to show your interests. Too many people are way up in their head with their personal fears, doubts, and negative fear-based thinking about themselves, and they often assume the worst. They end up sabotaging their first and second dates, or they sit home and do nothing, or they just stay stuck for years. And this is the sad part. They're missing out on a lot of fun in life and love. When you know the exact dating skills of what to do and you feel confident, you're out there saying, I am the whole package, I'm ready to meet someone. This leads to many relationships, and you become the chooser. You decide yes or no if that person is right for you or not. And the reason this works so well is really in your mind, you're just meeting a new friend. There's no pressure on you. There's no pressure on them. It's just saying hello. And I love this little quote, a simple hello could lead to a million things. Yes, it can. And if you want to have friends, be friendly. Why is this so hard for many? Like I said, the guy to the right on the bottom, he's in his head. He's thinking about all his past issues. He had a bankruptcy. He has debt. He had loss. He had stress. So if you can't get out of your head and you keep all these negative fear-based thoughts in your head and you're out in public, you're not coming across happy, fun, and approachable. And that's that center picture with the woman with the two decisions. Am I happy and outgoing and approachable for some man to say hello? Or am I sitting here bitching and moaning to my girlfriend, complaining about my past dates, really in a negative energy space, looking around and saying there's nobody here for me? If you don't come in with a good attitude, it's not good for you to be here. It's really important that if you're out there, you put on that high energy, happy face and be approachable and get out of your mind that you can't do it. So important. Like if you're there, I can't meet anyone. Nobody's there for me. Nobody's good enough. Like that is going to sabotage you every time. And these negative fear-based thoughts are always based in original childhood trauma. And if you don't know what I mean, I'm going to go into that a little bit so you understand what I'm talking about. When you just say hello, you're establishing a friendship, if that's how you come across. And friendship is one of the top 5 foundations for an emotionally healthy love relationship. You're going to learn the rest of them in the couples section. Tip 4 for singles, you must love yourself first before dating. You've got to clean up your past or current life to be relationship ready. Like I said, psychologically, you want to do empowered dating. You want to go out there and feel like you're the whole package. You're ready to meet someone. You have no cheap drama in your life. Everything is cleaned up. And when I work with my clients, I say, we're going to get you back, but only better. Because so many people lose themselves when they've been in a long-term toxic relationships. They don't even know who they are anymore. Their self-esteem is low. Their confidence is low. So I work with everything. I used to be a model and talent agent. So I do makeovers and I look at their pictures before they go online. I help write their profile. I make sure that when they go out there, they are feeling ready and very confident. But the first thing is we've got to clean up all the trauma from your past so that you do start loving who you are and you start to see your future as you desire it to be. Super important. There are 10 areas on my worksheet that it says, are you ready for dating or relationship readiness quiz, which you can get on my website, rianamilne.com. These are just 4 of them. So if you haven't seen that assessment yet, you have to be emotionally healed from all childhood and love trauma and ready and available for an emotionally healthy, committed relationship. Again, solving and healing the past traumas. Know your non-negotiable requirements for screening partners. If you just depend on chemistry, again, you know now it's the worst thing you can do. Okay, there's an attraction, which started the hello. Now the conscious mindset stuff, the dating skills have to click in, right? Because my clients know, okay, wow, he is hot, but he doesn't have a financial plan. His kids and him are at war. He drinks too much. So all of a sudden you've seen over the first date or two, it doesn't take long when you know the questions to ask. Yes, he's handsome, but he's not the right partner for me. That's what we need to know. And plus, what do you need to be happy? You are healthy in mind, body, and spirit. Before you feel that way, you shouldn't be out there dating, because your energy is going to attract someone who's not good for you. So you need that overall self-love. You need to feel happy, confident, love your single life. And then your suitors are very many. It's just a matter of who you choose that is right for you. You have to have effective, conscious relationship and communication skills. So when you meet the right person, you know how to screen. You're confident in your intimacy and sexual skills. You can speak your feelings with empowerment, but yet kindness, without blame or anger. And you have the ability to work as a team with your partner. We did not learn these communication skills growing up. They weren't modeled to us from our moms and dad. We didn't learn them in school. We didn't even learn them in a triple master's of psychology. Okay, so the research that I have on excellent communication skills is what I teach my couples. Tip 5, get out there and start living life, guys. Get off the online dating and meet real people. And that's why I wanted my meetup people to come in tonight. Really glad that you're getting out there and signing up for parties and getting out to meet people live. Again, the studies show most men want a partner from Halloween through Valentine's Day, because nobody wants to be alone during the holidays. They get very upset and depressed if they're alone at Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, but they love Halloween because it's a feisty holiday. So if you're not getting out there and putting on a cute little sexy outfit, and men too, like, you're missing out. You're really missing out. So make sure that you do show up and enjoy yourself. There's so many people lying online like right now. It really saddens me to see that for my clients who are online. They lie about their age. And if you are online and lying about your age, I'm going to really encourage you to change that tomorrow. You've got to be real. You've got to be authentic. I don't care you're putting your age lower for search reasons. It's bullshit. Because if they don't like you, who you are at your age, they're not the one for you. And that's a spirituality concept. You love who you are, and this is your age, and this is your reality. So if they don't like you for that age, they're not your person, right? So you be authentic online. You be real. There's cheaters online. They have one relationship. They're online looking for another. They could be lying about their abilities and their profession. So who are they really? And with my singles group, when I opened it, this is why I wanted to clear people with a driver's license and a business card or a LinkedIn profile. Why? Because I want to know who everybody is. Because if I'm exposing my singles as the host to meet other people in the group, I want everyone authentic. And when people are afraid to give me credentials, look, I'm a psychotherapist. I've been collecting licenses for 22 years. You can cross out your number. I don't really care about the number. But the age group is 40 to 65. And I don't want people 70 into the group. That's not who it's for. It's for professional people who want to meet other professionals, and spiritual singles for other people who are spiritually faith-based. So be authentic, be yourself. Also, many men who are successful don't want to be online. They don't feel they need to be online. So they're more out and prone to meet people live. So if you're only online, you're missing a great part of the population you should be meeting. There is a 5-second factor for men. And ladies, don't be mad at me for telling you this, because it's hardwired in the caveman brain. You got to look amazing when you get out there, ladies. You know, do the best with your hair, your makeup, wear fashionable fitted things, because men's first need in their caveman brain is attraction. They can't help it. They were made to procreate the race. But again, men, don't throw it in ladies' face. Don't show up and say, oh, I really have a high sex drive. We don't want to hear it. We know you do. We don't want to hear it. Ladies, when you pass that attraction test for a man, then you use the other skills for great communication and so on. Okay. And then you choose whether this person is right for you. Now, for the men on the call, women's number one need is safety. Her cave woman brain wants to feel safe, cherished, So men, be a gentleman, take care of her, do what you say you're going to do, follow through with your word, be honest, speak your feelings and be authentic. Don't play games. Show her that you're interested by asking her for a date right away when you met her. So after the conversation, if one of you has to leave, say, I really enjoyed this conversation. Can I take you out sometime? Because some men, they learn this rule. Oh, I got to wait 2 or 3 days to contact the woman, blah, blah, blah. That's just dumb. If you're interested, ask, and you both go home feeling great that you met each other. And please, guys, don't push for sex. Don't say, this is date 3, we should be sexual, or date 5, that means I really like you and we should be having sex now. It's really a turnoff. I mean, I have heard my women say, I just feel like I'm the next receptacle. Who are they going to score with next? And this has been really prevalent with making women feel uncomfortable since the invention of Viagra. So please, men, if you really like someone, wait, get to know her, be her friend first, be honorable. These are the things that are the foundation of great love. Where do you find your potential partner? Singles? Everywhere. Where do you find them? Everywhere. This is the thing. You meet people everywhere. You can meet them, like I said, in parking lots, beaches, Starbucks lines. It's not like a particular place, but here's some guidelines. First of all, public places. There's single men and women everywhere. So start saying hello. Go to singles events like a meetup, parties, dance clubs, because people that love to dance, trust me, I've loved to dance my entire life. I was a real disco queen. But there's always friendly people at dance clubs. This is why I'm having my Halloween event for the local people at a dance club. Super friendly, love to laugh, great place to go. So, other singles on here, check out in your area, go to meetup.com, find out what parties are going on and join one. Go to where they gather. To find men, go to sports bars, car shows, which I happen to love, live sporting events, beaches, gyms. To find women, dance clubs, gyms, malls, lunch spots with a great view, happy hours and ladies' nights. So those are, where do they gather? And live your life and stay consciously aware. What do you love to do? Go do that. Meet people at your faith-based center. Do karaoke if you like to sing. If you're a reader, go to bookstores. Do what you love to do. Just say hello and get out there and do it. The thing is, most people are so up in their head with fear that they're just not paying conscious attention that there's people all over you can meet. It really is quite easy when you get it.
Do you feel like you have tried everything? Self-help books, therapy, relationship summits, retreats, online courses, podcasts. But you still struggle with toxic love, attracting narcissistic partners, ongoing anxiety, depression, codependency, love addiction, stress, moodiness, lack of hope, feeling stuck in your career, and you just can't seem to get love right. It's time to heal your unconscious behavioral patterns caused by unhealed childhood trauma. I'm Riana Milne, the love trauma recovery expert and certified life and love coach who helps thousands around the world, and I can help you too. I specialize in helping adults heal from unconscious childhood and love relationship traumas, emotional triggers, and dysfunctional behavioral patterns, which have been impacting them negatively in life, love, or business, to transform and create the life they desire and to have the love they deserve. Talk to me today at rianamilne.com and get the free ebook below to learn more.
Couples, thank you for hanging in there. This is part 2, and singles, you're going to learn a lot. So hang with us, because there's so much to learn when you are in that coupled relationship. And if you start struggling, why you're struggling. It is time to have the love you deserve. So if you've been struggling, this is going to be very important information. The sad thing is that the statistics are really up, that the domestic violence is increasing. Divorce rate is over 50% at this point. So what is going on? Again, there's an art and a science needed to help you break free of the emotional triggers that seem to control you and ruin your life and relationships. You want to end the anxiety, depression, fears, and frustrations that you've had with your partner. Once the root of the problem is healed and you learn the new skills, you're going to be fine. I have worked with couples. Well, I started my therapy practice year 2000, and I was always more of a coach than a therapist because I didn't like the traditional therapy model. And I have people that I have helped heal from their traumas in 2006. in Atlantic City. I was an officiant, and I even married several of my couples, and they are still together. So we're talking 18 years. Research is real. I mean, this really, really does happen to work. What is going on? Divorce rates are increasing around the world. Relationship experts warn that the pandemic-induced breakup curve may not have peaked yet. And the most reported major contributors to divorce or breakups were lack of commitment, infidelity, and conflict, arguing, or yelling. And the final straw came when there was infidelity, domestic violence, and substance abuse. These have all increased with the pandemic. And what is happening is a lot of couples get into this toxic cycle of pain and abuse. It starts with frustration or emotional triggers from your past. There's a fast trigger anger reaction that leads to dysfunctional behaviors or toxic acting out. Then your partner finds out, and there's ruined passion, fun, the trust. If you don't have trust, you don't have love, joy, safety, and the friendship. Because this person that you really gave your heart to has really let you down. The couple starts to feel hopeless about the future. There's exhaustion. You feel like you're walking on eggshells because you're worried, will this happen again? Can I trust them? There's ongoing anxiety and stress, and then the repetitive fighting. So it's this toxic circle until it gets cleaned up. You have to get to the root of the issue. You can't put a Band-Aid on it. What happens when there's an emotional trigger? Well, one unconsciously feels angered, attacked, or fearful and reacts to a person or an event, sometimes very dramatically or irrationally when under stress in life or love relationships. So the result is always tied to an emotional, physical trauma that occurred to a person when they were very young and innocent. And then you develop coping mechanisms to get through the difficult times. And these then become unconscious survival strategies. Let's talk about what is trauma, because if you haven't heard me talk before, you're probably like, well, I wasn't physically abused, so I didn't have trauma. That's what most people think. So let me break this down for you a little bit. Trauma is a profound one event, which we call big T trauma. So it's a single experience, or most often little t trauma means enduring repetitive or multiple negative experiences that over time completely overwhelm the individual's ability to cope or process the ideas and emotions involved with that constant ongoing experience. And I'm going to give you some examples in a minute so you understand this more. That's when I discovered, with 2 years of deep research, the solutions to the problems that my singles and couples were presenting in my counseling practice and coaching practice. I created the Dating to Mating Relationship Rescue Coaching programs to help my singles and my couples, and at the time, myself. My research was a source of my healing. And I was a local practice in Southern New Jersey. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to take this message to the world. And that's when I wrote Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams. That's when I wrote my notebooks, because I knew how important and profound this research was. This was not mentioned ever in my studies. And I was a smart student. I graduated summa cum laude with a triple master's in psychology. Childhood trauma was not discussed. That's why I knew 7 therapists could not help me, because they didn't have the training. They didn't know about this. This was the aha moment for many people. They said, oh my God, this makes so much sense. I discovered once I got all these pieces together that all my clients have experienced childhood trauma. And now the research globally is saying, yes, 100% of people have experienced childhood trauma. And so did their partners. So their anxiety and unconscious emotional triggers were wreaking havoc and causing problems in dating and their love relationships. And the faulty coping behaviors that were very unconscious sabotaged the love and the relationship they really wanted. And that's what happened to my partner, because I knew he had great love. And he looks at me and goes, I don't know why I sabotage everything I love. What's the matter with me? And that's what started it. That was a gift for me. And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. So here's the answer. The patterns were the same. The first 4 to 6 months were incredible, passionate, romantic, fun, loving. But when past trauma was not healed, then from 4 to 9 or 10 months, or right after the engagement, saying we're exclusive, marriage or living together, things drastically changed. Toxic behaviors started to emerge. Some things that show up, it could be all, one of these, some of these: fast reactive anger and dramatic responses, Emotional numbing or splitting, needing having a secret life, acting out secretly. This is where affairs come in. Defensiveness and blame, not taking responsibilities for your actions. It's somebody else's fault. Impulse decisions that hurt you in the relationship and erode the trust. Jealousy and control over your actions, decisions, or your friends. Ongoing anxiety leading to exhaustion and moodiness. Aggression and rage or inability to discuss your feelings honestly. Poor focus, forgetfulness, and mental fog. Irritability, bouts of depression, or playing the victim. It's like it's always, oh, poor me. Self-medicating with alcohol or other addictive behaviors. Self-centered negative focus, and passive-aggressive punishing or acting out to hurt someone. Now, these are just a few of the long list of what can come out from unhealed childhood trauma. 2012, to help my clients feel in their minds, yes or no, they have traumas and what they were, I developed a childhood trauma checklist, which is now used around the world to get to the root issues. And it's very simple to use. And you can write down these traumas as we go along. And I'm going to give you examples so you can kind of see how these interplay in real life situations. There are more than 10 traumas. Research shows childhood trauma goes through at least 3 generations. So if you had it, your parents had it, and so did your grandparents have it. And these childhood experiences, again, were not your fault. You are just a victim of your environment. You are a child. So you develop coping mechanisms to deal with whatever happened. And these experiences could have happened inside the home or at school or in any other situation. Okay, so the first one is parental addiction to a substance or compulsive behavior. I named 12 different types of addictions: drugs, alcohol, sex. You knew your parent was a cheater. Porn use, gambling, hoarding, spending, eating, gaming, TV watching, workaholism, and even computer use since COVID, just being on the machines all the time. Second, verbal abuse. You witnessed or received yelling from your parents, or you witnessed them yelling at each other. You received cursing, verbal put downs, like if they said, you look fat in that, change your outfit. Or you were given the silent treatment. They didn't talk to you for hours or days at a time to punish you. And if you've gotten that, that's how you learn passive aggressive behavior. Or you were yelled at if you tried to give it a reason that you did something, express your feelings, then that's where you learn not to talk about your feelings. You shut them down. Number 3 is emotional abuse, neglect, or witnessing domestic violence from your parents, or you felt afraid when left alone for long periods of time. Here's a client example from this first group. Okay, Erin was in an emotionally and verbally abusive relationship and attracted to the same type of guy as her dad. She did want marriage and a family at her stage of life, and she really wanted to be engaged to this guy who was angry, abusive, and toxic. She dated him 7 years, and I said, I can get you the engagement, but I think as you learn this program, you're not going to want it. And that's what happened. She got engaged, and as she learned the system and understood what he was doing and saw the toxic behavior over time, which was repetitive, this is what she said when she was done. Coaching with Riana led me to gain my confidence back, getting to a point of happiness and self-worth again. I was lucky to escape the biggest mistake of my life, that of marriage to the wrong man who was very toxic. I'm now in the most fantastic, healthiest relationship of my life and have a beautiful baby boy. I'm forever thankful. They are now married, and he is a top attorney that I have seen on ABC News. They travel the world. She's on my Facebook page, and my heart just bursts with joy for her every time I see her living this idyllic life that she desired. That's what we set up for her, and it worked. Okay, part 2, sexual abuse, rape, or molestation is trauma number 4. Again, that could have happened inside or outside of the relationship. That should also have physical abuse, which is hitting as well. Trauma number 5 is abandonment from either parent, and there could be fault or no fault abandonment. Now, a no fault abandonment would be if a parent happened to die early, they go off to serve military for their country, or they travel a lot. That's how they support the family. Now, I had one of those. When I was doing this research, I usually say you can recognize 1 to 3 traumas right away. And I'm like, Yeah, I always remember asking, when's daddy coming home? We did not know as kids, or my mom didn't even know, that my dad served in the FBI and CIA. And when he got sick with cancer, we got letters from Ronald Reagan and William Casey, who ran FBI, CIA at the time, thanking my father for his many years of service. Now, it didn't help that I learned that at like 28 years old because the childhood traumas were already there. But, they're not allowed to tell their families. So that was one that I could relate to. A false abandonment is if they are never in the child's life. If they're there while the couple's together, then they barely see their child once the couple breaks up, or the parents inconsistent. They say they're going to be there, then they don't, or they're late, or they break their promise. Now, this also can be an emotional false abandonment. So the parent is there, but rarely engaged with the child. So emotionally, they're just not there. They're not loving. They might be working all day, come home, eat, then they go into their office. They don't go to the kids' school events. There is something as emotional abandonment too. And this is up to me to find all this out from my clients. Number 6, trauma is if you're part of adoption, foster care, or had to live with other friends or families away from your home because your parents couldn't keep you for some reason. Now, here's one of my client examples, another lovely success story. I had Karen in my office, and she said she's always anxious, very depressed, often angry, but she didn't know why. I got to the bottom of it, and she suffered from low self-esteem and several no-fault abandonments. So a bit of Karen's story is, at age 36, my world was spiraling out of control. I thought I wasn't good enough and people in life would be better without me. I didn't know how to love myself. When I was 14, I lost my dad. At 28, I lost my sister. And at 35, I lost my mom. All the people that loved me left me. I never really learned how to deal with all that loss, and I had a few not so good relationships. I was full of anger and rage. Riana helped me heal, accept, and love myself and my wonderful partner, Raj. And I was so honored to officiate their wedding in the Atlantic City area. And they were one of the first civil unions, and they came back to me to get their wedding license when weddings were passed for gay and lesbians. And they've been together since 2006. So how many years is that now? The techniques that my couples learn, they will use the rest of their life. It's really amazing when the initial trauma heals and they learn the communication skills if they are emotionally triggered. Trauma number 7 is personal trauma. You could have feelings of not being good enough or some guilt and shame. Being bullied is a big one. I could definitely relate to that when I was a kid. You felt different. You might have had a medical condition or diagnosis ADHD in school. Now, I worked in every grade of the school systems, from kindergarten all the way to Rowan University College Center. So I worked with the people who had trauma or identified as ADHD or was bullied or the bullies. Working with people of this trauma at all ages, all backgrounds. I also worked in a mental health unit in a hospital, ages 5 through 19, and drug and alcohol rehab centers for teens and women from the prison system. These top 10 traumas were very prevalent, and most everyone could identify with personal trauma. There was something. You could have been a chubby, overweight child, or skinny and gawky and called a nerd, and that was mine. You could have been gay or lesbian coming out and not accepted by family or friends. You could have been the only African American in an all Caucasian school. So you can see how prevalent this could be for many people. Sibling trauma is number 8. Most often, your sibling was the golden child, the favored one, the star athlete, the better student, the more handsome or beautiful one. Or if your sibling had a medical issue, your parents were more involved with their caretaking, leaving you feeling off to the side, or that sibling could have bullied you. Trauma number 9 is family trauma. You could have had a lot of moves if you were part of a military family, making you always the new kid in school. Loss of a home, poverty, incarceration of a parent. You could have been in an active war zone. And I added that after working with someone in Lebanon who grew up with bombs going off all the time. So it can be anything that your family is enduring. I didn't write that in, and I should have, but I added to trauma number 9, community trauma. And we are all now experiencing this with the COVID pandemic, right? Watching, friends and family members getting sick or friends dying. It's very, very traumatic. You can imagine how this is affecting our young people today. A lot of young people are feeling hopeless about their future. They're going to college, not having a college experience, wondering what's going to be left when I get out. This will be very impactful for many years. Community trauma is also our Mother Nature events, flood, fires, hurricanes. It is also our mass shootings and our school shootings. So unfortunately, community trauma is one of the most common traumas today. And trauma 10 is an unstable parent with mental health issues. The two most difficult to deal with is bipolar and borderline personality disorder. Borderline means erratic moods. When they're good, they're great. When they're bad, they're horrid. And the child never knows what they're going to get. That's kind of the walking on eggshells feeling. Is my dad going to be good today, or is he going to be angry today? And you just don't know. Bipolar means manic depressive. So depression can get out as anger, checking out emotionally, extreme fatigue, or it could be the manic phase could be high and happy, but it's usually tied with an addiction, like a spending spree, a gambling spree, or a drinking binge. So do you feel you have at least 1 to 3 of the childhood traumas? And again, 100% of people have experienced something, so you have to dig deep, even if it's COVID, but most people can easily identify when they're honest with themselves which ones that they had. When they're talking to me, then I have to do the severity index of 1 to 10, and then I know what to focus on for their healing. And again, it could be one traumatic event, or it could be many little events that add up to ruining how you're feeling about yourself, your life, and your relationships. And there's a quote that came out of Kaiser Permanente, who did the ACE score, which is very different from my test, where they said your biography, your life story becomes your biology, because they found people with unhealed childhood trauma leads to early disease, early death, irritable bowel syndrome, migraines, chronic fatigue, all kinds of heart disease, diabetes, all kinds of illnesses. So we want to make sure you get that healed. Some of the patterns and signs of unhealed childhood trauma with love trauma. This is how it shows up. How do these two come together? If you have a partner that's controlling, it could be they had no control as a child, and they show that by having lacking of control in their own life. They're impulsive. They can't say no. That's something we have to look at. If they're jealous, they were often maybe bullied. They didn't feel good enough. They might have been the small guy in class, were bullied for that. And even in the adult brain, it's like you could be jealous because you don't feel like you're good enough. People pleasing is very common for women. That's when you grew up in a verbally abusive household, you saw a lot of yelling, or you were bullied as a kid. You have a high need to be liked. You often will people please. And you might have done that to your parents just to keep peace in the home. If you have someone that lies for no reason, they might have been physically or verbally abused. They make up stories. They want to convince you. This is also the manipulator or someone who seduces. They use charm or humor to be liked. I remember doing a study on comedians, and every comedian, the top comedians I studied, all had childhood trauma. So watch out for someone when they say, I really want a great sense of humor, okay? Because they could have a lot of traumas that are not healed yet. And if they use sarcasm, it's not funny, it's hurtful. If there's someone who blames and doesn't apologize, they have this need to be right. They want to control your decisions. They lack remorse if they do something hurtful for you. This is definitely a sign of unhealed childhood trauma, and we have to get to the bottom of it. It's very hurtful for a loyal partner if somebody does this on a repeated way, and there's a reason you're doing it. Abandonment issue leads to codependency and love addiction, and that's that cycle of relationship repetition syndrome. 8 or more traumas are showing narcissistic and sociopathic tendencies. And when I first did this work in 2011 and 12, they were saying 1 in 25 people are sociopathic. Now they're saying 1.5 in 5 people are sociopathic. And a sociopath very simply means using another for pleasure or profit without remorse. So the actions you're doing is, you have no remorse around them. Be very careful. Know the signs of the sociopath, the narcissist, know the signs of childhood trauma, know the questions to ask. And this is why I say to my singles, know what to look for when you're dating. Super important. how to have that emotionally healthy relationship. You must heal and overcome any childhood trauma patterns and emotional triggers by consciously choosing your thoughts, feelings, actions about a person in a situation. You must also understand your partner's childhood traumas and their emotional triggers. Now, for my couples, I have to do individual work. I have to solve partner A's trauma, partner B's trauma. Once I know what they are, I teach a brand new communication style and help them to be able to navigate through their emotional triggers. Super important. They know how to react to their partner's difficult feelings or behaviors. They learn conscious choices for mood management. You have to learn to forgive and apologize quickly and authentically. Someone who does not apologize has this need to be right. Why? Because as a kid, they weren't heard or they weren't right, and they're always trying to prove how good they were, and it wasn't seen. So if you feel like you have to win all these battles, you're going to lose the war, which means lose your relationship. So you have to learn to communicate with love, authenticity through any issues, and with total conscious awareness and choosing your vocal words and the way you communicate very carefully. Now, my first degree from Penn State was in speech communication. So I use those skills with my psychology skills to teach you the vocal communication skills that everybody needs to use in life and love. That leads to having a sustainable, emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious relationship. Here's the goals. This is what we do. We take your pain and transform that into joy, your fear, unconscious, negative thoughts into confident and conscious mindset. Really important. Self-doubts about who you are, your abilities, to creating all success in all life areas. Your frustrations with dating or your love relationship turn into positivity with dating and your love relationships. If you have ongoing anxiety, which most of my clients do, you learn to have a peaceful, calm confidence about yourself. If you have any feelings of not feeling good enough, pretty enough, this enough, or that enough, you learn to have a very purposeful and empowered life. You love who you are, and it shows when you're out there. And can this really happen? I love Bob's story. He just graduated this spring, and he allows me to share this because he wants to help others. I'm going to read this for my podcast listeners because it's so exact in how you navigate through this. It's when I met Riana at the beginning of the year, my life was in a very different place than it is today. I was having some significant relationship troubles with my wife. I was having a lot of negative thinking and self-doubt. I was pretty depressed and had a lot of anxiety that I didn't know what to do with. I didn't have a lot of direction on where I wanted my life to go. All I knew is that I wanted to feel better, and that's where she came into play. Riana had me do a lot of work looking to my past, different family dynamics, and just the way that I viewed myself. After coaching with her, I started to understand things about my subconscious mind and how my behaviors were deeply affected by my past. I needed to start to view things differently and work on my mindset a lot. I really worked the program and took it seriously. I listened to what she said and really started to focus on the changes that I wanted to make. Since coaching with Riana, every aspect of my life has improved. My relationship with my wife is so much better. The way I see myself or my self-esteem is so much higher. My business is thriving, actually doubled his income within 6 months. My spiritual life is very healthy. I'm physically and emotionally in very good shape. I think he lost 35 pounds when he was with me and became like a super muscular guy. I have a new passion for life and have a clear vision of where I want my life to go. If you're going through a hard time with any aspect of your life, I would highly consider having Riana coach you. It's definitely an investment in your future, and in my opinion, will pay itself 10 times over. The skills she helped teach you will impact and improve the rest of your life. I would highly recommend doing the initial discovery session with her and give her the opportunity to see what she can offer you to improve your life. Working with her in this season of my life was one of the best decisions and investments I've ever made in my entire life, and it is fully tax deductible due to my credentialing. Don't hesitate to work with her. You won't regret it if you want to make a change and you're willing to look at yourself honestly and do what she says to change. Thanks for everything. And I just said to Bob when he was done, I'm like, can I clone you and have like 1,000 men like you? Because you are like the ultimate partner right now. It's really fabulous to see the changes that they go through. With my couples, how to get the love back by the holidays. Let's go into the tips for you. And again, my singles, this will be helpful for you as well. First, get out on a romantic date. Why? Because most couples put the kids first, their work, the household chores, and then have no energy for each other. It's really important to schedule in 1 to 2 times to date, and it doesn't have to be expensive dinners, just out of the house, doing something special. Remember back when you did date in the beginning, when it was great for each other, you both dressed nice for your partner, you showered, you smell nice, and you didn't talk about negative issues. So don't do it on the estate. Have fun. Don't make this about sex. Don't think, all right, I'll take her on a date and then I'm going to get laid tonight. Okay, no, that's not the purpose of this. The purpose is connection. And if you know about the science of a woman's brain, and you probably never learned this because they didn't teach us this in health class, a woman first gets turned on by her 5 senses. So what she sees, smells, how you just touch her hand, appearance, taste, music. So appeal to the 5 senses and don't be so fast to rush in for sexual contact, especially if your relationship's been broken for a while. If you haven't had sex for a while, don't treat this date as, okay, I'm going to have the date, then I'm going to get laid. Don't have that mindset. Okay, because we're trying to have you to have great love within a month or so, right? So you have to take your time and build the romance and the trust and the friendship back. You want to start having fun again with your partner. So that's why I'm saying it's about connection first. And then have an honest talk about making things better. First thing is take responsibility for any actions and make it authentic. Because if you've hurt your partner in any way, now's the time to step up and be the man and the woman that you want to be. And if you really are remorseful, you've got to really speak this from the heart. You know, it's not just, and I used to teach this to my kids in school, just don't say, oh, sorry, if you butt into someone in line. You say, I'm really sorry I pushed you, you could have gotten hurt. My elementary kids were learning the proper way to apologize. You've got to know the proper way to apologize. Why are you sorry? Are you digging deep to why you're sorry? Make it authentic, make it real. And again, this is that part. Apologize for being a shithead. Okay. Why? Because you have to apologize if you haven't been too kind lately, or moody, or non-affectionate, controlling, or cold. You have to take responsibility for any faults that you've had recently, and again, most have originated from childhood trauma and bad patterns. So now that you know this information, use it. Say, you know, I'm going to go get help on this, because this pattern is not good for me. It's not good for you. And it's eroding our trust, right? So you have to get help on that. Many want to blame their partner. Oh, it's your fault I did this because of that. No, hold responsibility. Don't go for winning all these battles. You're going to lose your partner, and get beyond your ego. Be quick to forgive, and also be quick to apologize. This pattern of admitting your mistakes and your faults and understanding why is something that my couples learn to do. Step 3, know the 5 F's, the foundation of an emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious relationship. Singles, this is really important for you too. This is what you're looking for. Couples, if you've been in trouble, this is what you want to get back. The first thing is that solid foundation, which is the ability to trust and be trusted. Have confidence in who you are as a person, like who you are, clean up any old baggage. And you have to make sure that person you've met or with has shared morals and values. If they don't, that's fine. Have a happy life. You're just not for me. Okay. 2 is flexibility. They have to have an open mind, caring, easygoing, no control over your decisions, not forcing what they want upon you. You're an individual. You can have your opinion. They can have their opinion. Emotionally open and has good mood management. I know a big conflict has been, do I get vaxxed or not vaxxed? A lot of couples are breaking up over this, just like President A or President B. 2 people have their own opinions. Let them have their own opinions. It's just 1 vote each. Don't force your opinion on each other. Fidelity. Both are honest, loyal, and have integrity. And again, integrity means doing the right things when no one's looking. Because without integrity, you don't have trust. Without trust, you don't have love. If you have a partner that's constantly acting out of integrity, your relationship is going to suffer because there is no trust there. Friendship, you got to be each other's best friend. That's why you go slow in relationship. You want a buddy, a best friend, someone, think about your best friends. Your best friends last forever, years and years and years. Why? Because you respect each other, you're reliable. Even if you have a little fight, you say, oh, I'm really sorry. I did this wrong, or I did that wrong, or you speak your feelings. You kind of hurt my feelings when you've done this. Your friend hears you out. Right? So that's why the core of friendship is essential. You want to be each other's best friend. And fun, you've got to have common interests, love to laugh, hobbies, and share activities. You want to plan couples trips away. People say, well, can they have their own interests? Yes, of course. But if you have someone like who's golfing Saturday or Sunday and you're at home or home with the kids, this is going to be a problem. This is why they developed the term golf widow, or hanging with my fishing buddies all weekend long. That's not going to work. That's selfishness. That's putting friends above you. And this is tip 4. No one comes before your partner or your relationship, not the kids. Because if you put the kids first all the time, your marriage is going to fall apart by the time they leave high school. These are the couples that are running their kids around doing everything. You don't have time to date. You're too exhausted to date. You're too exhausted for romance, and your relationship will fall apart, not your friends. And then I have a lot of couples that come in. It's like, yeah, we go out with our friends all the time, and they never have single dates. Your ratio should be 4 single dates to 1 group event. You have to drop your old exes, your old partners, time with the opposite sex friends, because it just gets ridiculous, and you have to put yourself in your partner's shoes. If your partner's always in touch with an old girlfriend, would you want your lady in touch with an old boyfriend? No, it's not comfortable. Unless that friend is easily introduced to you and you all hang out, that's a different scenario. Not your sport activities. They don't come first. Right? Do activities with your partner, then work in your sport activities around their schedule, not your mom and dad. Okay, I have seen mama's boys come in and they're ruining their relationships because they take mom's opinion over the girlfriends or the wife. Your partner's first. Once you marry, your wife is in first position. And not your work. Yes, work and income is important, but you've got to schedule out your fun. You put it on your calendar each week. Babe, when are we going out this week? What do you want to do? So you both have something to always look forward to, and you have that balance in life and love. That's key. Step 5, don't think things will magically change just because your word said, I'm sorry, and let's do this again. Then you're back in RRS, relationship repetition syndrome. Schedule help for yourself today, even if your partner will not go. Keeping your appointment shows that you're serious about getting help. You're creating new boundaries in your relationship. It's going to get their attention, showing you are serious. Like Bob, he signed up without his wife. She was in couples counseling, which they were in for a year. And Bob says, oh, it's beat up Bob day. And he was about ready to leave the relationship. He's there, I'm doing something new. She didn't want to go. I said, don't worry. We're going to change you. And when one person changes, the whole dynamic of the relationship changes. And his desire was to keep the marriage. But psychologically, he was prepared physically, mentally, in all aspects of his life, that if things did not change with his wife, he would be happily moving on as a very empowered single. And that was his edge. That was his psychological edge. He could leave. And therefore, that changed her dynamic to him. Yes, I can work with one person. Obviously, it'd be great to have both of you, but whatever's presented in front of me, I will help that person in that relationship. You have to have an honest conversation about the unhappiness levels and admit your responsibility to the problem of drifting apart. What is your part in that? And singles, don't fall in love with someone's potential. Watch their actions. Don't believe the words. If the words don't match the actions, you've got real red flags. Okay, so this is why it takes time to date someone, to really get to know someone before you become intimate. Tell your partner you want more joy, fun, passion, and happiness in your relationship, and you want to work on your end of things, what you're bringing to the table. Don't blame them. That's going to make the relationship turn sour again. Remember, we're finding love for the holidays. So ask if they'll join you. And if not, say, no problem, hon. You do what you want to do. If you want to do a different counselor or a different coach, but I'm going to start because there's things I want to work on. You've got to start living your life and improving your end, and then your whole dynamic can change. And the shocking truth is, since COVID, 3,000 adults surveyed, 34% of married men and women report more stress in their marriage. Domestic violence has gone up. Couple sex lives have not improved. More stress for both singles and couples. For singles, are showing the marriage rate is really falling. So you really need the edge. If you want marriage in a family, you got to learn these skills, because it's super important to find that partner. And I have men coming here that want to be married as well. Singles who have stopped dating started to really isolate, and this has increased fear, loneliness, alcohol use, anxiety, depression, sadness, feeling of hopelessness, because physical touch, intimacy, and emotional support have all decreased. So emotional well-being is directly tied to touch, love, and support. So singles, it's time to get back out there. I mean, either people have been vaccinated or they have the COVID antibodies by this time. Let's start living life. What can you do to stop the pain and have more love? Great thing is you've got choices, because we're 100% responsible to making better, more educated, conscious choices in both life and love. You don't want to keep waiting to get help, because these patterns are bound to repeat. You need to get the help that you want today if you want love for the holidays. And honestly, I wish we started 2 or 3 weeks ago when I started putting those emails out there, but now's the time. That's why I said, if you're single, get out there for Halloween. If you're a couple, throw on some Halloween costumes, make them feisty, and go out and have a fun night. Learn the skills you need now to find and have the love you desire and deserve for the holidays. You don't want to move forward in life and love blindly. You have to become consciously aware and 100% responsible to be both a conscious and evolved adult in both life and love. So it starts with boldly facing your fears and the facts from the past. You have to understand why you do what you do. Because like my partner, when I wrote that 400-page book and sent it to him, he goes, "Oh my God, put my picture on the cover. I'm the poster child for this." And he said, "I finally have an answer of what was wrong with me." And that healed both of us. And I actually ran into him later down the road, and I gave him a big hug, and I said, "Are you okay?" And there was no anxiety around my heart. It was just love and appreciation and gratitude for what we did have. And I hoped that he was all right. That's the feeling it is like. It's such an aha moment. And it's fabulous to finally stop the pain, the fear, the frustration that causes most people to struggle in life and love. So take today's information to start your lasting transformation. There are 6 gifts, as I promised, for those who might want the edge in attracting and having love now. You can save time, money, broken hearts, and frustration in love, and be ready to attract and keep your emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious partner. Let's heal that past childhood and love trauma. Turn your unconscious actions into full conscious awareness. Learn the watch me mindset for success in all life areas. Learn the exact dating and couple skills that you need to have that lasting love relationship you desire and deserve. Gift 1, again, is for everyone. I am offering, which Bob referred to, that private life and love transformation discovery session. It's 90 minutes of my time. It's a $497 value. I'm offering it free for the next 10 days if you schedule. So that is the link. You might want to jot it down on your paper. You can go to that later, meet with Riana. And it's for anyone that has not had one. So if you've already had one, your childhood trauma stuff does not change. This gift is for anyone that has not had that session with me. If you are a couple, it's 1 per couple. And right now there's a COVID special for $47. So it's cheap right now, but this is the value of it, and the price is going up. Get in there and get that. And what I'm also giving is 2 educational reports once you've completed your session with me. There's nothing worse with no shows. When I have a really busy schedule, I'm putting time aside to help you. So I want people who are really serious about learning about their dynamics. It's a really informative session. People have said I've learned more in 1 hour than 7 years of therapy. Kirsten said that. So that's a quote I use on my website. The bonus report you'll get after your discovery session. If you're a couple, I'm going to pick out some reports based on your issues. But for the single, 6 ways to eliminate toxic love and 8 dating disasters to avoid, which is from one of my courses. Okay, so jot that down. The total bonus is almost $1,500 tonight. Go for it. Okay, so invitation for the singles or couples for either dating to mate or relationship rescue class. And these savings are for those who want to join a personal transformation coaching program or work with me as a VIP client, because I have a discount for that too, who might want private coaching with me. Tonight, the whole goal is to go from trauma to transformation in life and love and any of your other goals, whether it's business, goals with your family, your children, whatever. I work on everything with you because that's life. We look at everything. The beginning part of the program is the same, just a little bit different for singles and couples. So the first part is healing the trauma and going into your life desires and your goals. That's modules 1 through 3. And then part 2 is either dating skills or relationship skills. So whether you're single or you're coupled, those are modules 4 and 5. Tonight's information was just a bit of module 1, which is Wake to Awareness, understanding what's going on in your life, dating or relationships. It's all about healing the trauma. So tonight we covered what's the leading cause of dating issues and the frustration of attracting and having an unhealthy partner, understanding the childhood trauma patterns that impact quality love, why 10 childhood traumas have direct correlation to someone suffering in life and love, and discovering if you were impacted, and 3, how emotional triggers from past trauma create toxic repetitive behavior patterns that sabotage your success and trust and love. Module 2 is all about your personal goals and transformation. You learn a goal setting system that works miraculously for my clients. This has been time tested for years and years. It's amazing to see what they say they want in module 2 and how they are at the end of the program. They have reached their goals. It's really great to see. Creating a new life vision and personal goals for your growth. Finding the motivation to change your situation, not staying stuck where you are, staying calm during difficult situations, meditation for stress reduction and balance in life, and self-love is the beginning of the dating and relationship success. We focus on that. Module 3 is conscious and spiritual mindfulness, that mindset for success. So we increase self-love, confidence, and positivity for happiness and passion about your life. We go into why spirituality is essential to heal and feel your best, changing negative thoughts into positive ones, finding the good from the bad, to really having conscious choices and actions that lead to your success, achieving boundaries in life and your love relationships. And we keep practicing the mindset so you get it. Remember, we could be changing 30, 40, 50 years of unconscious patterns. And we have to teach you confidence and communication as well. So let's go into the singles module 4 and 5. Then I'll do the couples module 4 and 5 so you see the differences. So module 4 for singles is defining and attracting in your soulmate, defining your new relationship requirements, wants, and needs for your ideal partner, changing dating and past relationship patterns, codependency, love addiction, obsessiveness, control, or jealousy. How to be a conscious dater, to know exactly what to do to attract that healthy partner. And you want to know the 14 dating traps to avoid them, how to flirt properly, and online dating skills that get you great partners. And module 5 is success in love and relationships. So 10 things to do now to find your perfect mate, which are different than you learned tonight. We go into the exact things you need. Your dating and attraction plan for where you live, venues for dating, conscious dating competencies, social and dating skills, and your attitudes when you're out there, effective communication rules to get you through difficult times, and tips for a more satisfying, passionate sex life. Lee is someone that went through DTM. We call it dating to mating. She says, I love the program. The Life and Love Transformation Program for singles helped me understand that many of my previous dating mistakes were due to my past childhood experiences. I needed to change my mindset and thoughts about myself and my patterns of selection, which kept hurting me. The course focuses on you and your development. The modules are well organized. You start by fixing the root of your problems, truly transforming yourself. I wish I've invested years ago on this course. I'm so grateful to have found Riana, and she's now happily engaged. She just did a podcast with me. If you're interested in hearing that about her transformation. Let's go into the couples module 4, learning to have a conscious, evolved relationship. So you want to change any obsessive patterns, codependency, or other sabotaging behaviors that ruin your relationship. We go over the 10 strategies for romantic and passionate love, the master skills and secrets to relationship success, and those communication rules for resolving issues and learning to have loving negotiations. These, again, are just part of what you're learning. I can't list everything, of course. Module 5 is creating a new understanding and transformational relationship. Communication rules for resolving issues and loving negotiations. Your appreciations and expectations for yourself and your partner. Fantasies and fears, the 10 new laws of love. My requirements, values, needs, and wants, and how to express that to your partner. Creating our new relationship plan for lifelong love. The results is to feel amazing about your life and to have that evolved and conscious love relationship. Both partners live the concept of you and me against the world, protecting your love relationship above all others. Nobody else is more important. Nobody else can break through. There's that balance of you, me, and us, and you're fully committed and emotionally present for your partner. You're responsible for your needs, and you're protective and honest in your communication, your issues, your wants, needs, and desires. And you know the skills that you need to be evolved, your highest and your best self, in mind, body, and spirit. You resolve all past negative trauma and triggers, and you have a positive mindset for successful love. Maria came to me in her 60s. She was in a relationship. It just was on and off again. She wasn't feeling confident about it. So she said, before working with Riana, I was feeling stagnant in my love relationship path, unsure of myself, and best to have a relationship with a man who I really love so much. And now we are engaged. It wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Riana. She helped me with past childhood traumas and helped me to communicate my feelings to my partner. I've gained boundaries and clarity in my love relationship, career goals, launched a new business, and learned to find more balance and ease in my life. Things also greatly improved with my daughters. Coaching with Riana has been an amazing source of guidance, support, and inspiration at a time when I needed it most. I can't even fully express the gratitude and guidance that her coaching course has done for me, and she highly recommends my services. So you too can believe in your dreams. What would you do and how would you feel that ideal, emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious love? So dating to mating is for singles. It's called the Mastery Program. Tell you you can save thousands of dollars, okay, tonight. You would receive in the self-study program the 90-page workbook that's based on my research and time-tested, proven exercises to uncover, change, and stop the past triggers that block your success in life and love. PowerPoint online trainings, a total of 5 modules, both the Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams books, pre and post audios for each module's workbook section, and bonus videos. And again, there's more bonuses. Gift 2, this program is advertised on my website, which you could get at any time. It's totally worth it at $19.97. But tonight's special bonuses, guys, it's $7.97. Okay, singles, you would save $1,200 if you sign up tonight. It's like a ridiculous price. It's so full of value. And there's $4,200 in free bonuses. And it's a complete tax deduction. So it's like, okay, this sounds like a no-brainer. $1,200 off with the Fast Action Scholarship when you pay in full tonight. The pre-course coaching session, I'm going to meet with you for 1 hour to address the trauma patterns and start you healing right away. Then you go in and do the course. And when you're done the course, we have a bonus 1-hour session, your Q&A, and future planning for where you are now and what else you want to do. And then you get 2 extra bonus coaching reports, again, with your discovery session. The total value of this program is $9,000, and you save an additional $94 by paying in full. That is the link, rianamilne.com/mastery-course. And there is an investment plan or a payment plan. You can do $297 deposit tonight and 2 auto pays of $297. So I really try to make it affordable for everyone. I know some people in this class, I've talked with you before in your strategy sessions. I know you really wanted the help, but maybe money was tight. So I'm doing this for you guys. Like, this is a price that you don't see unless I do an extreme special. And I'm trying really to get the singles out there, have more love, and couples, you have a great deal coming up too. So just hang tight. Okay, again, save $1,200. It's only $797. Write down that code. And if you invest in full, you get $4,200 in bonuses. Okay. Gift 3, this is also for the singles. If you sign up tonight, you're going to see an offer for my other program called Success in Dating for 75% off. This is an incredible savings. It's only $247 tonight with your dating to mating purchase. So you save $750. That's what I'm saying. You're saving thousands tonight. These are all the secrets you wish your mom would have told you or you will learn somewhere in school. It's how to spot the dangerous dating people out there, the sociopaths, the narcissists, the emotional manipulators immediately before getting involved. I really break it down. And it's 5 easy modules. You really could complete this in a full weekend. Video education, audio tracks, self-study guides for 5 modules. There's handouts. When you complete them, send me your handout with the answers done. I send you a bonus handout. So you're getting double the handouts. I get to check in with you. How are things? And then at the end, we have 1 coaching session. Now that's $247. My sessions are $1,000 a piece. So when you're in there, if you buy Dating to Mating tonight, you get this offer to add it. Okay, so it's phenomenal and people have really loved that course. There it is. Again, go into the mastery course. When you sign up for that, then you'll see the second offer for Success in Dating, but you have to add it tonight. Don't email me tomorrow and say, Riana, can I add it? No, it's a fast action scholarship. Okay, so that means tonight you decide. So singles, you can go on over there, check that out. I'm going into relationship rescue for my couples, but singles don't go away because I want to answer your questions. So just open another tab and you can check that out. Okay, so relationship rescue benefits for couples. You want to stop the trauma-related triggers and negative thoughts and behavior patterns that are sabotaging your relationship. Stop any boredom, stress, resentment, and anger, and disappointments that you guys would have gone through. We have to start you fresh. We have to start you with a full understanding of why you did what you did to really repair the relationship. Use positive communication skills and therapeutic breaks to feel heard, loved, and respected. Get back the original affection, friendship, and the sexual passion you once really enjoyed while falling in love all over again. And that is a description of my couples. It's funny, I was at a pool party in Boca Raton, Florida, and I hear Riana from across the pool, and I go over. It's one of my couples I worked with 5 years prior. I'm like, oh my God, how are you? She goes, everyone, this is my life coach. She saved us. So she was there with her husband, and she was very proud to say that she worked with me. She goes, she healed everything, and we're better than ever. Thank you. It's working. And those are the things that brings me such joy in what I do. And I know it works for my couples because it's been time tested since early 2000. It keeps getting better with more and more research. I'm always doing as much study as I can to help my singles and my couples. My couples tonight have relationship rescue on special as well. It is very similar, but a whole different program from dating because I'm focusing on that for the single. So this is all around relationships. It's 4 months. It's self-study on my online school, the Life and Love Training Academy. You also have a 90-page notebook with time-tested exercise to help stop the triggers, PowerPoints for each of the 5 modules, both the Live and Love books, the ebooks, pre and post audios for each worksheet, and bonus videos in each section. Tonight, your class special is, you save $12,000. This is a $12,000 value for 2 people, because when you sign up, 2 people will have access. This is normally on my website for $4,997. And you can save $2,000 tonight during this class if you sign up before class is over. It's only $2,997. You get $3,000 in bonuses. Keep in mind, it's complete tax deduction, so you can split the tax deduction however you want to work it. So technically, it's free. That's one thing bonus you get for me being a licensed mental health counselor and a certified coach. You can write it off under mental health or business coaching training because I do all of that. So your link tonight's rianamilne.com/couples-mastery-course. course. Write that down. If you want to do an investment plan, it's $797 down for your deposit, plus 3 auto pays of $797. But you will save $188 by paying in full tonight. You're saving $2,000 and getting $3,000 in bonuses. What are the bonuses? You each get an individual 1-hour session with me processing your trauma before you get into the self-study course. I want to work with you individually, so each get that hour. And then afterwards, I meet with you as a couple to go over your questions and your next 6-month goals. So anywhere that you have had trouble. Now, keep in mind, if you want to reach me during your self-training, I do offer laser coaching sessions. And that is easily explained on my website. If you need a session 2 or 3 as you're going through this, certainly I will meet with you. But if you're doing fine through the program, we will meet no matter what at the end when you've graduated. And you have 4 months for you both to complete it. Both in there working your own program. You both have your own online link. That's why it's a little bit more than the singles. Okay. But it's an incredible deal tonight. And I hope you guys take advantage of it. What does it cost you not to do these things? More lost time and happiness, aggravation and frustration, loneliness and depression, more toxic experiences, like how many do you want to put yourself through? Low confidence and self-esteem, because every time it happens, it's a big jar on your self-esteem. Living in fear and negativity, whether you're single or with a partner where it's not honorable. Traumas for your children, because certainly if you're a parent, if you're affected, this impacts your children. Marrying or having a long-term relationship with a partner who's not good for you or your kids, financial hardship or ruin, and more anxiety, stress, and depression over getting love wrong. Again, there's the singles link and there is the couples link. Now, top 3 questions I normally get. What if I don't have the time? Look, this is timed out. You have 4 months. A module opens every 2 weeks. You can't rip through this one. And the reason is I want you to practice the skills. This is a program about changing unconscious behavioral patterns to conscious awareness. It takes practice. So you're going to study at your own pace, but you have 2 weeks. And 4 total months to finish it. So most people finish because it's an easy pace. Remember, your clock's ticking. How long are you going to wait for your happiness? If not now, then when? How much time are you going to keep doing what you're doing and living the insanity of doing the same thing and getting the same results? And then some people question, well, it's worked for all these people. I mean, I have hundreds of testimonials. I send that a lot to you guys. You can see what coaching is like. And it works for everyone. If you work the program, it's really simple. Just stay dedicated and finish. That's it. If you haven't seen the testimonials, just ask me. I'll be glad to send them. And there are some on my website. What if you don't have the money? People find the money when they want something. Remember, you're saving thousands tonight with these fast action scholarships. So you have to act tonight. These end when this class ends. So consider the cost of more devastating mistakes, and not only financially, but emotionally. Use a payment plan if you have to. And also PayPal has 6 months interest free. These are priced so low so that hopefully you all can say, yes, I'm worth it. You know, I need to change my patterns. I want this. I love Olia's letter because she kind of wrote it to all of you. She goes, I hope my journey will give you hope and inspiration to believe again that happiness, wholeness, balance, and peace are possible. I heard Riana on a podcast only 6 months ago. It's really hard to believe it now, but back then I felt depressed, sad, cornered, hopeless, lost, victimized, and unhappy. After 10 years of marriage, all my attempts to save the relationship failed. Since Riana, I was able to become best friends with my ex-husband, which was unbelievable with the toxic situation they had. And that was the father of their child. So she did not want to repeat childhood trauma for her son. And I started dating again, truly enjoying the process of choosing my next relationship, since now I knew exactly what kind of partner will bring out the best in me and will be the best for my values, lifestyles, and vision. I can't thank Riana enough. She's passionate about helping people and she truly cares. The education in her course is top notch. You need to read hundreds of books and spend thousands of hours researching these various topics. Her husband and Scott and her have been happily married now for several years. They had a daughter together and her son Kai, and they live in a beautiful beachfront mansion. And that was the life she desired. We took her goals and her dreams and we made it happen. And it can happen for you too. Gift 5. If you want to know what it's like to work with me in a private VIP coaching program like Oya did and Bob did, just email me for details. But everybody has to start with a life and love discovery session. I have to know what your past traumas are. So please sign up for that tonight. Don't worry, I'm going to show you that link again. But if you want the VIP, I'm taking 10% off every VIP program tonight. Email me tonight. Yes, Riana, I'm interested in knowing more. I'm telling you tonight so I can get the 10% off. So it's silver, platinum, or diamond. I will be glad to explain these to you in your life and love transformation session. If you sign up for mastery tonight, you can say, you know what, I want to upgrade. Take the money that you have paid for this bonus, the mastery program, and we just apply it to your VIP program if that's what you choose you'd rather do. But it's 10% off if you enroll in one of those by Friday, November 5th. By Friday, November 5th. The Summer of Saving offers, so you can write these down, to have and find the love you deserve for the holidays. Gift 1 is that free life and love transformation session with 2 educational reports. So this gift is $1,497. If you are a couple, one person gets it free, the other one just has to pay. Guess what? You're lucky. Right now it's $47. That's pretty simple. You should sign up for that, everyone that has not had one yet. And if you have had one, just email me and you want to upgrade, because we already know each other. So I already know your patterns. You already know what program I recommended for you based on your past patterns. And you kind of know which way you want to go. Gift 2 is dating to mating for singles. Self-study, it's called Mastery. It's only $797 tonight, usually $1997, plus $4,200 in bonuses. Starting right now, you save $1,200 because it's fast action tonight. You get a pre-course coaching with me about your trauma, a bonus graduation session, your Q&A and future planning, and bonus coaching reports. And again, if you need help or support, you can always get a laser session after that. Gift 3, $247 tonight. If you sign up for Dating to Mating, this offer will come up on the screen after you make payment, where you save 75% off and you can get Success in Dating for only $247. Okay, that isn't offered very much. It's offered on a rare occasion. So please take advantage of that. It's phenomenal, and you'll get that under the Mastery course. That's singles. Couples, again, your program is a $12,000 value because it's for 2 people. It's $4,997 on the website. You're saving $2,000 now during class. So it's only $2,997 total for the both of you, plus $3,000 in bonuses. That is your link, the couples-mastery-course. You can do the investment plan for $797 deposit. That is explained once you hit the link. You can make your decision. Go for it, man. It's an incredible deal. Gift 5 is saving 10% off any VIP singles working with me one-on-one in silver, platinum, and diamond. If you have not heard about these programs, do not worry. Sign up for the free session. I'll be glad to explain them to you afterwards. You can stay with the Mastery program or choose to upgrade. That will certainly be honored if you decide by November 5th to upgrade to a VIP program. Important thing is, everyone, say yes to yourself tonight. Find and have the love you deserve for the holiday season. Get the skills that will benefit you the rest of your life. You will use these the rest of your life. You would never go backwards. Because once you know what the traumas are, once you're fully consciously aware, you don't go backwards. There was too much pain there, and you know how to handle any emotional trigger that comes up. It's a very empowered, calm, and confident life. It feels really amazing. Now we are going to have the live Q&A. Also, I want to tell you, gift 6 is 2 free special reports. After the Q&A, I'm going to give you a trivia question. Again, singles, your worksheet is, hey, he's hot, she's hot. Now what? How to use the rule of conscious dating, the rule of 3s. And for couples, the signs of the emotionally healthy, conscious, evolved relationship, a new checklist for a great partnership. You will get it tonight, couples, when you answer the question. And the trivia question, like I said, I'll give it at the end of Q&A. I'm going to get off PowerPoint. Here are the 3 links again. Please jot them down. Sign up for those offers. Hope that helps you tonight. My gosh, guys, I've tried really to give you an amazing offer so that you say yes to yourself. Ask me any questions. The end of Q&A, I will then give you the trivia question. You're going to answer the trivia questions, and I want you to tell me if you're single or a couple, so I know which report to send you. And then I'll send it out by email. Hi, Rachel. Thank you. I'm so glad that you liked the presentation. Is there anything I can help you with personally? Does the childhood trauma and love trauma piece make sense to you all now? Is that starting to like give you an aha? Okay, now I went through this. And again, we're not looking to blame mom or dad because they've had their own experiences, right, through 3 generations. Can you make sense of to maybe why you were struggling in life or your relationship? You know, our mission here is to help change the way the world loves. My graduates do that all the time. It's so fascinating to see that they're out in the world or they have a friend that they see is struggling. It's like, oh, okay, this is childhood trauma. I'm going to have her do like the discovery session with Riana. And they can see it, right? They can see it in their friends, their family members, the people they're dating. And we have a really open heart to trying to help people who we know and love. So that's kind of like the feeling we have with our graduates, a very special feeling because we've been through quite a transformation together. Thank you, Faith, for a question. When dating, should single women consider a man who withdraws and comes back after a first date? Or is that a definite red flag if they return a couple weeks later? Honestly, Faith, if it's new, no, not really. Because if you're both out in dating world, let's say this was an online dating thing and you're just meeting each other, maybe date 1 or 2, you're not in an exclusive relationship yet. However, if you had the conversation about being exclusive, then yes, this is a red flag that they go off and they disappear for a couple of weeks. That's a definite red flag. That's a definite breach of trust. But if you're new friends and you're just dating, they should be able to date whoever they want. And you were dating. Now, sometimes we get busy in life, right? I certainly have had my dating patterns where I'm writing a whole online school. And for 4 months, like, I don't want to talk to anyone because I'm working 12-hour days, right? So it could be a career situation. There's times when people want to date and there's times that they just don't have the energy, time to commit to dating because you have to be open and willing and wanting to date at that time, right? Be open-minded to hear where they were, or they were out dating and they're like, nah, I kind of like her best. I really want to go back and date her again. So it's okay for them to have that experience. It's usually in your favor. Always keep open heart, open mind to whoever you've dated. My clients learn never to end on a bad note, never to be nasty. This is a spiritual way that we call release everyone in love so that there's an open door. Now, certainly if someone's cheated on you or broke your trust or gaslit you or is abusive in any way, we close that door really tight and we don't look back. We become very empowered. But if it's just easy dating and it's just new, I would keep an open heart to that if I were you. Another question. Great. Your husband and you have 2 kids back to back who are 13 months apart. You drifted emotionally and did not address it. He became emotionally disconnected and you were too focused on the kids. How can we rebuild our emotional connection? Having children is a very difficult transition. The first thing, like you learned tonight, is to tell him that you've missed him, you love him, you appreciate him, and can you start having a date together? You admit, I know I've been focused on the kids. We know that they need my time and attention. I'm the mom, especially if you were breastfeeding, but just tell them you miss them. Speak from your heart. And if you have problems doing that, that's a sign that you did not learn communication as a child. And that's okay. That can be taught. But it's really connecting from the heart first, being proactive, not reactive. Many men feel pushed aside when the new baby comes. They feel lonely. They lost the woman that they love. They lost that passionate lady. Women lose that sexual self. Now it's just mommy, mommy all the time and all the demands. So you're both hurting, right? It's a big transition, but we love our kids. It's about being honest and communicating from the heart first. Really, I think you can get that back because you have a lot to save, right? You have these two kids that need you, love you, and you don't want them to grow up with the stress. I know one thing for sure, working with kids from kindergarten all the way through college, they know when their moms and dads are hurting. They hear the fights and they say, oh, well, I talk to parents, well, we fight at night. I said, trust me, your kids are hearing it. They're not sleeping. They're coming into school exhausted. They're blanking out in the classroom because they're worried if their parents are going to divorce. I saw it all the time. So kids are very impacted by their environment. So if it's like no love, tense, stressful, your kids are feeling that from you. Someone's got to start it right now. If you need help with that, get some laser sessions from me. Okay, RianaMilne.com, laser sessions. You'll see at the top. You can start there. They only take 1 to 2, 3 sessions. Look into that, but do something. Don't wait. That's the most important thing. Don't just magically think this can get better because it usually gets worse. Is that helpful? If you have a follow-up question, let me know. Another question that Sharon's asking, what about when they write that they'll call, but they don't? Should I reach out? I've done that, then they've called, but next time forgot, I guess. What's your take on this topic? Well, number one, Sharon, let's get you back out and live life. Okay, let's get out and have you meet live people. This could be considered ghosting or not. I know it's traditional, but I usually say to the women that the men should initiate the call. If they write and say that they call and they don't, should you reach out? I wouldn't. I'd say next, because we don't want to wait around for someone who's not that interested. And it could, again, don't think it's about you. They could feel financially not ready for a partner. They could be having work challenges or kid challenges, or could be stress in other areas of their life, because people know individually they're ready for a relationship or not. They might want to date, but if someone out there is feeling too serious, they could be afraid of that and say, whoa, I'm not ready yet for this because I have these demands that are more important right now in life. We don't take it personally. We just move on. Okay, dating is a numbers game, and we want someone who's really excited about us. When it is the right person, it's easy and they are excited about you. I wouldn't chase them. My people don't chase. My people meet people and just keep meeting people. And the numbers are out there. And the people that are interested step up. And because our clients, their attitude, their demeanor is so confident and fun and cool. And I'm here to just have fun and meet you. If we click, awesome. If not, you can be my friend. No big deal. Great question. Thank you. If he declines, what do you suggest? Move on. We're not waiting around for anyone. Life is to be lived and the world is abundant. So if they are not interested, if we run into them again, we end kindly. Can say hello, no hard feelings. You're not their match. And we have to accept that, guys. We don't take it personally if we're not someone's match. This is what we call a love map. Everyone has a type. When you work with me, we know exactly what your type is, exactly what you're looking for. And you're going to meet a lot of people. And you can meet someone who's like 3/4 a great person, but they're not really what you want for your future. So you let them down and it's like, I hope we can be friends. So you're going to say no to people and people will say no to you. It's okay. You don't take that personally, but we don't chase. Also, Sharon adds, we never met. I've hardly ever met anyone in person online. Come on, girl. Why not? Come in and work with me. Okay. So it's lucky to have a few phone conversations. Here's the problem. This is what we call fake relationships. You don't really know who you're talking to on the other line. You're building this relationship. There's a lot of rules that I teach in my program around this. But when you're building a fake relationship, you've got nothing. So it's not about talking to people on the phone. It's not about texting on and on and on with some stranger. You don't really know who they are. You don't want to do that. Okay. You really need success in dating. You need that course because I don't want you to hurt yourself. You grill them, you screen them by email, then phone. Often they don't live where they say. Hello, or working overseas. Well, this is the problem with online. And this has picked up so much. You never talk to someone out of town. You never talk to someone without getting a last name. You Google search them. This is why for my meetup group, I want a license and a business card or a LinkedIn. Some people complain. It's like, why? If you're authentic, give me your license. This way everyone feels safe and supported. If they're showing up for my singles group, I want them to feel safe. Now I know who's in my group, and if anyone acts out, I know who they are. Okay, online, you don't know who they are. Never talk to someone out of town. Overseas, we know that's someone who's into a scam. We'll return in 2 months. Hell no, not for you. You're not interested. Can't be any clearer on that, girl. I don't want you to get hurt. You're entering into a lot of fake relationships. I really hope you sign up to work with me tonight because I don't want you to get hurt. He declines what you suggest. If he declines getting help, like I said, you start. You say, I want things to be better. I love you. I want this to work out. Our family needs this, so I'm going to start. I hope you'll join in. With my program, anytime my married people start as a single, the partner is always invited to join in. That's important to know. If you signed up for Relationship Rescue tonight and he doesn't want to, you sign in as a single person, and then he can always sign in later. But what happens is one or two things. You're going to change so much that you change the dynamic of your marriage. That is Bob's example. That is Karen's example. I have so many people that's happened to where their partner didn't want to start. You start, sign up for the couple session. You have 2 slots. You can sign in at any time within that 4 months. That's what I would do. Start learning what to do. And that is the best way for you to get started, whether he wants to or not. If your husband declines my bid for connection, honey, you start. Super important because you're showing you're serious. It doesn't matter if they like it or not, because if he's so disconnected, he may be out of the marriage. So you've got to do something. I mean, emotionally checked out is step 1, physically checked out is step 2. So you've got to do something. You start. I think I got everyone's question right now. How would you advise to deal with men who start speaking sex at the 3rd date or so? Oh my God, guys, my women that come through the program, like I said, are very empowered and they know what they want. If a guy is so sex obsessed, it's a turnoff. We're looking for someone that wants us as a person, the entire person, not who just wants to get laid. So yes, we know men are sexual, but women are sexual too. Men say on the first date, hey, you should know I'm really high sex drive. Next. We don't want someone that's over the top sex drive. We all know men want sex. We know it. So why are they putting the pressure on us? If they're putting pressure on you, then they're not genuine. This is not someone we want. There is skills that I teach my people on what to say back, and you would learn that. I want to make sure that this is moving in a direction of an exclusive relationship first. And if they don't stick around, we know what they were there for, and they're not for you. This is the only way you're going to find an emotionally healthy person. You can do these hookups over and over and over again. And this is what women usually do until they come to me and they learn a different way. And that's when they find their emotionally healthy relationship. We know men are sexual. That's not the point. Throw it in our face, pressure us, because then we know what it's all about. We're not their next score. We're better than that. Our confidence is there. If that has ever come up to me when I was dating, that's exactly what I would say. Very flattered. But if that's what you're looking for, you should go have it. I want you to be happy. You're a nice person, but I don't sleep around. And you know what happened? They wanted me more, and they hung in there and they waited. It's the mindset. When you're out there, no matter what comes up, you have the mindset to be kind, yet confident, empowered. You don't stress out with whatever comes up. You know exactly what to say. That's why this program is like so amazing. And that's why my singles move on. If they want marriage, they find it. And they know it's a numbers game. Like I said, you should listen to Ola's interview, Leah's interview. She did it a couple months ago when she got her engagement. Like, I love my clients call back. It's like, oh my God, Riana, I'm engaged. I want to do your podcast, because they want to help other people. They want to give them hope. And it's like, man, this works. Like, guys, just follow the rules based in research and you will get what you desire. That's the point. And we know it's a numbers game. We know it takes time. We know that we're out there and what we're asking for and looking for. There is a lot for me to teach you. And some people don't know the difference between coaching and counseling. So I'll explain that, because I am a counselor as well. Counseling explores the feelings. It is not educational. My counseling clients do not get my worksheets. They do not get my workbook. They do not get the constant educational instruction that my clients need that are in for their trauma healing and looking to date and love their partner in a different way. There is so much for me to teach, and that's why it is 4 to 6 months. As a certified clinical trauma professional, in my courses, they say healing trauma takes 6 months. The ideal time that I work with people is 6 months. But if there's a financial issue, I did create, the Platinum program, which is 4 months. So we can get it done in 4 months. If I can have that extra 6 months, it's like such a bonus, because then I'm watching them date. We process the dates, the yes, the no's, why not. That's the difference between coaching. Is very educational and more intensive, because I have so much to teach you around trauma healing and dating skills or relationship communication skills. Counseling is more about processing your feelings without a whole lot of education. Okay, so not all my podcasts are interviewing my clients. You can find my podcast. It's called Lessons in Life and Love. .com on its own website. Go to my YouTube channel, Riana Milne, where I have like 250 educational videos on life, love, singles, couples, straight, LGBT relationships, all kinds of topics. And of course, I'm on iTunes. So you kind of just have to sift through. I have so many, I have 109 podcasts. There's all kinds of topics that you should find helpful, but there's nothing like me working with you individually. People have listened to tons of podcasts and gone to summits and read lots of books, and they're still in the same predicament. Usually by the time they come to me, I said, what have you tried? They're like, everything, counseling, this, that, maybe even another coach or two, and they're still in the same issues, the same problems. You need a real specialist to do this. If there's someone out there who said, yeah, I have trauma, so I'm going to be a trauma coach, and they are not a licensed mental health counselor, and they are not CCTP, you are not getting the level of expertise that you need. This is very deep work. You need a specialist, and you're looking for the letter CCTP to work with someone who's a clinical trauma professional. All right, guys, here's a trivia question. And if you have a question that was not answered, you're going to email me the trivia answer and then ask your question at that time. My email is my name, Riana Milne at Gmail. Here's a trivia question. If you're single, which of the 5 techniques are you going to try first on how to find love right now? And if you're in a coupled relationship, which of the techniques are you going to try to help repair your love right now? And that could even include, I'm signing up for the discovery session. Again, it's free, $14.97 in value, free, only for 2 weeks. I want you to decide you're really going to do it. Take these techniques and really do it. You can improve your life. As all the letters of my clients' experiences that they have allowed me to share with you, they do that because they remember where they were. They remember the pain and the anxiety and the depressed state they were in. And they're so happy on the other side of the rainbow, we call it, where the pot of gold is, where their life has totally changed. You're like, yes, share my story, share my journey. If I can help one other person not feel stuck like I was, to improve their marriage, to not have that toxic cycle going on and on. If I can be one more single to say, yes, this works. Oh, I now live in a beautiful oceanfront house with the man of my dreams. I now have a high-powered attorney. We're traveling the world together. I now have this most amazing fiance. Oh, Jamie, I just did a podcast with Jamie too, who was one of my clients. She's recently engaged. Listen to hers. I think she's podcast 109. Oh, Faith, you started reading my book, Love Beyond Your Dreams. Yes. I'm so glad you feel like you're learning so much. It's 400 pages, guys. It's the #1 bestseller on Amazon in couples therapy, women in spirituality and relationships. And it's over 360 pieces of research cut into that book. It really is amazing. You can get free book chapter downloads on my website. I'll give you free gifts too. RianaMilne.com for 60 pages, and there'll be the link to order the book. Get my free ebook on the homepage. If you're a couple and your partner, you get one free, and your partner needs to sign up for the strategy session. Right on the homepage is the orange button. It's $47 on there. The love tests are on there, and access to my podcast and my YouTube. So I've worked really hard to give you guys as much free support as I can. But the bottom line is I have to work with you one-on-one for you really to get that amazing change, because I need to know what your traumas are. We got to dig deep and you're worth it, man. Like, life is so short. If COVID taught us anything, it's like we've got to have the life we truly love now. Why keep putting it on hold? My oldest client, Bob, he's going to do a podcast with me. I'm so excited. He came to me at age 73 and he's adorable, but he had 4 wives that divorced him. And he came into me and he had tears. He goes, Riana, I'm going to die alone. Can I get her back? Can you help me? And I said, let me talk to her. And she was adamant. She was out. I said, we're going to start your life new. Will you do this with me? He goes, I'll do anything. 73 years old, did the coaching program, got out there, dated. We did his online profile. So he's out there. He met a beautiful, charming lady. They've been together 5 years. He always sends me pictures from like their birthday, or they were going on cruises all the time, enjoying white night. Oh, I said, Bob, I really want you on my podcast. You're my oldest client and you're still in love. And he says he's the happiest he's ever. Again, these are the stories that mean so much. And I want to do that for you guys, but don't wait till you're 73. Right? You can have love forever. That's the moral of his story. And he shared that. He says, don't wait. I'm in the happiest state I've ever been in my life, but wow. And he had to wait to 73 to get this education. If you're young, do it now. If you want marriage and a family, let's get you the right person. So there's no mistakes for your kids. If you're in that relationship and you're struggling, get help immediately. I would love to work with you more in a VIP capacity. But when I signed up for my business coaching, because I wanted to go from a local therapy practice, my passion was to bring this information to the world. I went the best coach I could find to help me. She was $85,000 for a year, Lisa Sachovich. And that was her special price. You know, I had to go into my emergency fund. I had to use credit cards. I had to do this. I had to do that. I got a PayPal loan. I did whatever it took because it was that important to me. And I always knew if there's a will, there's a way. And I knew I would finish. I knew I would work the program hard. And I knew I wanted to change my life. And that's all I needed. I decided this is what I wanted to do. I decided this was important. I knew how much this information would help so many people. So tonight, that's why I said the first step is decide you want a different life. Decide as a single, you really want the relationship and to heal whatever's going on for you. Decide in your marriage or your exclusive relationship that you want it to be better. And if your partner's not on board, you start. Because with my younger Bob, the one in his 40s, he knew if she would not turn around, he was totally ready to have a single life. And he was ready psychologically. And we gave him that psychological edge to win her back without even pushing. It was amazing to watch it. It really was. Tonight's your decision, gang. Get on those links. Sign up tonight. If you signed up, I'm going to touch base with you tomorrow. And we will set up that life and love strategy session with you because that's a deep dive. There's 5 simple assessments. It's really easy to do. Yes, no, check mark. Some of you might have done my online quizzes, right? That I send back. This is your score, right? That's me. There's nobody else doing it. It's me doing it, trying to reach you all personally so that you know that I'm there for you. If I can help you in any way, I'm here for you. I wish you much love. I want you to decide, guys, to have that life you desire. Have the love you deserve. Let's get this done, man. The holidays are here. And if you're single and in my area, I want to see you at that Halloween party. Throw on a witch's costume, throw on a devil's costume, come out and dance, say hello. Let's have a ton of fun. And if you live anywhere else, decide you're going to live and love in a different way. God bless everybody. Thank you for hanging with me. I hope this was helpful. And I look forward to seeing you and hearing from you all tomorrow. I will confirm your appointments for your life and love strategy sessions to make sure I have enough time. I'm not rushing into a podcast. I like to make sure I give you total 90 minutes of time and attention. So I will confirm it or suggest another time. If you've already had that session, you don't need another one. Tonight is the night to decide to take those savings and go into dating to mating, get the success in dating, learn what to do and not do so that you can be safe out there and really have the love that you deserve. All right, guys, I appreciate you and I'm glad you had learned a lot tonight. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Do you feel like you have tried everything? Self-help books, therapy, relationship summits, retreats, online courses, podcasts. But you still struggle with toxic love, attracting narcissistic partners, ongoing anxiety, depression, codependency, love addiction, stress, moodiness, lack of hope, feeling stuck in your career, and you just can't seem to get love right. It's time to heal your unconscious behavioral patterns caused by unhealed childhood trauma. I'm Riana Milne, the love trauma recovery expert and certified life and love coach who helps thousands around the world, and I can help you too. I specialize in helping adults heal from unconscious childhood and love relationship traumas, emotional triggers, and dysfunctional behavioral patterns, which have been impacting them negatively in life, love, or business, to transform and create the life they desire and to have the love they deserve. Talk to me today at rianamilne.com and get the free ebook below to learn more.